Ask the Expert, brought to you by Nelligan Law.
Welcome back. If you want to get in touch with Nelligan Law, there's their phone number right on the screen, 613-238-8080. And you can also email them, info@nelliganlaw.ca. We're going to continue on with our conversation here with Stanford Cummings. And Stanford, I wanted to get into the compensation portion here. What if during the winter, it gets icy, it's snowy, you're on property, it's not yours, you slip, you fall, and you're injured? What kind of compensation are we talking about here?
Well, there's a wide range of damages, is what we call them in law, that you can receive. First and foremost, pain and suffering damages. So if you've suffered an injury, we can't undo that injury. We can't get in a time machine and take that away. So it's a bit of a blunt instrument, but money for the pain and suffering you've experienced. There's also damages available for loss of income, medical expenses, out-of-pocket expenses, and other losses.
I am wondering this, is there a time limit if you do fall? Like, I actually fell a couple of years ago, just on a street corner, just wiped out, but I got back up. I was not injured. Yeah. But if I was injured, I mean, what would happen? When would that fall become almost null and void, if you will?
Well, there's a 2-year limitation period for bringing claims in Ontario, but with slip and falls specifically, there is a 60-day notice period for snow and ice related slip and falls on private property. So you have to give notice to that owner or occupier of the property within 60 days. And if it's a municipality, it's 10 days of notice period.
Only 10 days?
Yes. There are exceptions, as always with law, but generally speaking, the law is 10 days from the fall. You have to provide notice. Okay.
Now, my next question for you is this. I'm speaking on behalf of somebody who was injured, let's say. What do you do? Do you take a picture of yourself on the ground, or do you, obviously if you're injured, you have that as evidence, but maybe if there isn't a visible injury, what do you do after a fall that was quite significant and resulted in some injury?
For sure. Well, the first thing you should do is seek medical attention. And that will, in its own way, document what's happened to you. It will explain the severity of the injury, the impairment that arises from it, and it will provide you with your options going forward, medically speaking, and it preserves the evidence for your potential litigation.
Now, I know that it's not just about money. What you're doing here is protecting individuals, right? What did you call it? The right to travel, to be without being injured. You said it's like a good neighbor law, so that businesses and private homes make sure that their house is safe.
Yeah, it's basically about making sure that everybody who is invited to your property is safe there, and that if something unfortunate has happened to them, it's about putting them back into the position they would have been had this incident not happened. It's not to overcompensate somebody, it's not to punish the landlord necessarily or the owner, it's to make sure that somebody who suffered an injury is put in the position they would have been had it not happened.
Yeah, so if you fall, you're not injured.
You don't have a claim.
You don't have a claim.
That's right.
Exactly. That's that's what I thought, because that's what happened to me. And you know what? You have to be grateful, right? That if there's no injury at all, then you're actually lucky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're actually lucky for that. Thank you very much for coming by. Because it is getting colder out there, and although the snow is pretty much cleared throughout Ottawa, we can expect it to come back, and we just want everybody to be safe, which is so good. All right, thank you so much again. And if you want to get in touch with Nelligan Law, there's their information right there on the screen, 613-238-8080. You can email them as well, info@nelliganlaw.ca. They're at 50 O'Connor Street, Suite 300. Got to thank Stanford Cummings again for coming on the show.